Hey gang, welcome back. Today we're going to go on a road trip to Southeast Indiana to check out a little bit of what we alluded to in our last video. We kind of alluded to the fact that we wanted to do a budget build kind of shootout. And so we're going to take you along. We alluded to a chassis that we had in mind. We've found said chassis, we've hunted it down, we've met with the person, we've checked it out. So we're going to take you along on our field trip. We're going to run down, purchase this thing. We kind of run through it a little bit while we're there. When we get it back, we'll kind of run through the car a little bit more, let you guys see a little bit more in depth. We're going to hop into a little bit of the Trans Am and just do a few quick things today. And then we also want to give you a little bit of a shop update. We've had some upgrades and changes that's really going to help propel the videos forward. It took us a little while. I told you guys in a previous video, we were held up. The wildfires in California stopped shipping, and our lift was actually coming from through the port of Long Beach. So that has since arrived. So we'll share a little bit of that with you, and we'll go from there. So stick around. Let's go on this trip and go get this chassis. All right, guys. So we've made it here to Southeast Indiana. We met a guy on Facebook Marketplace. His name's Jody. He owns a company called Cars and Pieces here. Super nice guy. He's the one that's helped set us up with our new project vehicle that we'll show you guys here. We're gonna go in, we're gonna do some paperwork and square up with Jody. I'm gonna ask for permission to make sure that he's okay with we film, you know, on the property and such. And we will keep you guys in the loop here as we go through things. Like I said, I wanna get permission and we'll go from there. All right, so we're here. We finished up some paperwork. Jody wasn't wanting to be on camera, which I respect. So we want to get her loaded up here. We're trying to squeeze through the lot here as best we can. Try not to hit any cars as we go. It is very tight. As you can see in the mirror, it is tight. I think we got her though. So, without further ado, here she is. You can see a little bit out the window there. I'm thankful for Kevin who's helping me video. We're gonna toss a battery in old girl here and get her started and get loaded up. What are these, 10 mil? Yeah, 8 or 10. All right, Kevin, you want to click her on?
I'm been on.
We'll try and avoid you, Jody.
I'm on. I've been on.
Oh, you're on? Oh, it's an 8, not a 10. Seriously? There's gotta be people. Or drive stuff. All right, so she needs a battery. We're gonna toss a battery in here, get her fired up. What the heck? Yeah, I should lose that. I know that it is stinking cold out here. That's what I know.
Got colder as we came over.
It did get colder as we came over. What the heck?
It could be worse.
It could be worse. What is going on?
Well, a week ago it was worse.
Right, it was worse. That ain't coming up off there. Seems like it's frozen on there. How's that look on the camera there?
Good.
It's acting like I don't have this nut loose. This. Perchance do you have a screwdriver, Jody?
Yes, sir.
It's loose. Yeah, I mean I can finger loosen it. It's loose. All right, we're gonna, I guess, fight this positive terminal. Little history about the car. It's a 2005 Mustang GT. Our plans, we know that this has some timing chain slab when it starts. There's a few engine codes. We bought this from Jody knowing that. He was super transparent when I even first reached out to him on Facebook Marketplace. But we knew that it wasn't gonna be a situation because we're gonna coyote swap this car. So our shootout, we're gonna take the LS1 Trans Am, try to do comparable mods to both cars, try to invest the same amount of money, and we're gonna try and see basically which car, performance-wise, can you get the most out of. So the next steps with this car once we get home will be to obtain a coyote. Once we have the motor, we'll pull this motor, we'll coyote swap it, and then, you know, over the period of the summer, we're gonna try and start working on taking each car to the track different times and doing our shootout. So I won't let you guys have to fight through me struggling to get this corroded battery terminal off, and we'll bring you guys back here in a sec. All right, we're gonna give her a fire up. You get to see the the noise that the motor makes. Kevin, you want to go ahead and get a video of the
We're good.
clickety clack? So here on the inside, you can kind of see she's not bad. The normal door card stuff peeled away. We'll clean that up or change the panels out. I'll steam a bunch of this and clean it. The seat here, the seat's got a tear. We're gonna switch out the seats. We're not worried about that. It's an automatic car. We know we're gonna change the transmission as part of the program. But overall, the car itself is pretty good. It's man, it's a 20-year-old car, so it's got 20-year-old car problems, you know, like the door's all shut good. She's got, you know, scratches and little dings and stuff. But yeah, overall, for our project and our plan, you know, we did good on price. So I honestly think that the old Stang is gonna give the Trans Am a run for its money. It's the coyote swap and this will be probably what we have in the Trans Am as it sets and is introduced. So this is, I think it's gonna be competitive. We walk around, you can see normal clear coat stuff. Again, Jody was super awesome. He was super transparent when we talked on Facebook. Great communication. If anyone's looking for a car, I definitely recommend getting a hold of him. He's in Connersville, Indiana. It's called Cars and Pieces. Super nice guy. We put him on the prowl for us to find a coyote motor. So maybe if he finds something or comes along something, we'll dig into that. But yeah, it's like I said, she's 20 years old. She's got some chips, but overall it's a solid car. So next up, we're gonna swing the truck around so we can load this thing up, and we'll bring you guys into us trying to get this thing on this trailer. Jody. No step. I love how they turn it on.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Jody, we'll let you get inside with us more.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll need to find something tight.
All right.
I appreciate you. Have a good one, man. Stay warm,
Yep,
buddy.
take care.
Safe trip.
Yes, sir. We'll keep in touch.
Okay.
This video will be up on Sunday.
Okay. Why don't you send me a text or
Yep, I will definitely do that.
a link?
Yep, we'll definitely do that.
All right.
See you, boss.
See you.
All right, guys, it is absolutely freezing here in southeastern Indiana. I think, Kevin, what'd you say? It's like 28 degrees.
Something like that. It's cold.
So, I keep alluding to Kevin. I'll go ahead and introduce you guys. Kevin's my cameraman for the day. He's a long-term friend. Kevin's a car guy too, so he offered to come help me make sure I didn't kill myself loading this thing today and get this thing home. So he offered to fling the camera some and help out. So Kevin, we appreciate you, man. It's I don't know if you guys saw these super bald tires where these have done some burnouts, folks. This baby has seen some action. And did you see when I went to load it on the trailer, it spun?
Oh yeah.
And I started. Well, that's why.
Catching right here is what it was.
Yeah, and it like
Getting over
so the
the
car's
lip.
setting a little crooked. That's because it decided it was going to try and do a burnout on the ramp with the wet tires. So
Things ready to go.
yeah, man. Like I feel like the old U-Haul trailer was not good so far. I'll
too
say
bad.
this: it towed well for a U-Haul trailer until we get our trailer. So yeah, we'll get this thing. I'll strap down the front and we will hit the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about U-Haul's strap system. So Alright guys, so as you saw on our trip, we went and picked this 2007 Mustang GT up. I think actually when we were there picking up, I think I might have said it was a 2005. It is a 2007 if I said it earlier. I apologize. We were freezing. It was like 28 degrees. We were trying to load this thing up. We were using the U-Haul that you saw there. I've never towed a U-Haul nor this car with my truck, and I actually had not even towed a car with my truck prior. Usually it's an RV or a motorcycle trailer or something like that. So I didn't really know what to expect. So I was kind of a little scatterbrained, but we did get it loaded. We got it home as you saw in the videos, and I wanted to run you guys through a little bit. We covered a little bit there in the yard. You saw us fight the battery. We got it in. I think I covered the fact that it has some timing chain noise. We're aware of that. Like I said, Jody was unbelievably open and honest, even before we came to look at the car, and told me, you know, there's some engine codes, which nothing's popped up since we changed the battery. So I don't know what that's about, but he did tell me that there was engine noise with we think it's the cam chain tensioner, or timing chain tensioner, geez. So we're not really concerned though. The goal for this is the Coyote swap the car. We understand that we're trying to do a budget build. We actually got this car for less than we paid for the Trans Am. So by the time we put the motor in here, we're about what we paid for the Trans Am. We got a great deal. Jody was great to us. So that opened up the door for us to be able to do that. Both cars are going to need suspension work. We alluded to the Trans Am needing suspension work. I know this does too. It's a 2007. She's been driven. She's got rock chips. There's some faded paint, some clear coat issues. I didn't buy it to be beautiful. We bought both cars to build budget drag race cars and then kind of evolve, depending on classes and things we want to do, kind of evolve the car. But initially, we want to do a budget build. We want to do things that you, the normal guy, can go and do in your garage. I rented a shop solely because of space and the neighborhood I live in. I actually was getting a little bit of flack for having things in my driveway. Not that it was cluttered or messy or anything like that, but I just simplified my life and got this place. You don't need a lift. I'm almost 50 years old. For me, it made sense. I had the resources to be able to do it. I had some support, and I'll cover some of that in the shop update here in a minute. But so we knew we were going to change the motor. It needs wheels and tires. I'm going to give it the same treatment that the Trans Am is going to get wheels and tires wise. Interior is not bad. It's a little dirty. The carpet's gross. It's a 2007. The seats will get replaced probably with some type of race seat. We'll likely do a back seat delete. The carpet, I don't know if I'm going to keep carpet or not. We're going drag racing. But there are some classes for street car takeover that they do require a full interior carpet, the whole deal. Are we going to go for like the daily driven class where that applies? Both cars will have roll cages. I covered in the previous video, safety is a major issue, or not issue, major thought of mine going, we want to be safe about this. This needs brakes, Trans Am needs brakes. Suspension on this, bushings, that kind of stuff, it's making noise. We expected that. Both cars will essentially get the same treatment when it comes to our plans for suspension, that kind of stuff. So the budget, I'm trying to keep the budgets as parallel and close as possible. Holley Terminator with the 5.3 is going here. Not sure on the engine management system here. There's been chats about maybe fuel tech. I don't know anything about fuel tech other than what I've seen on some YouTube stuff. I've seen some people gotten it to control Gen 1 and Gen 2 Coyotes. I believe I saw something where someone was controlling a 1080R with it. So I kind of want to experience and experiment with the fuel tech. The Holley stuff's super out there everywhere, especially for the 5.3 LS. Support-wise, I'm not too worried about that. But fuel tech has been one of the considerations here. I also know there's a system, Motec, that gets ran. So kind of still trying to figure that piece out. But ultimately, my goal is to make it so that both cars maintain pretty close to the same budget. As it stands, even with a motor, this car is still under budget by a fair amount. So we're going to turbo both cars. Long term is the goal. So yeah, I think you got to see under the motor for the most part. I kind of showed you the interior, but this is the budget shootout. We're doing LS versus Coyote. We're doing a 2000 WS6 Trans Am 5.3 truck engine swap. Super common. It's all over the internet. Turbo 400 transmission, Holley Terminator. That's the budget plan for that. It will get, brakes, suspension, things that we have to do, safety, those kind of things we have to do. Same thing here. It's going to get brakes. We know we're going to do the Coyote. We haven't decided on a transmission yet either. I'm open to recommendations or ideas. Post in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think we should make to this Coyote to make it actually do what we want to do. I've heard Turbo 400. If I can get 10R80 and I can get it to control and work well with the systems and the fact that we're kind of swapping into another car, I'm open. I'm learning. Comment below. I'd love to see and have ideas. So I'm going to hop into a little bit of the Trans Am. I told you we had wheels and tires already. I was able to get some stuff mounted. I still got to mount the bead locks, but before I mount them, there's a huge disclaimer on the wheels that says test fit them before you mount. If you mount it, you own it. So there's no sending it back to weld if we mount a tire and there's something funky or wrong or machined weird or anything like that. So I do want to test fit the two rear tire or rear rims. So we're going to test fit those today. We're going to get the fronts on, make sure everything seems to look and feel okay. I'll get the bead locks done up here probably this week. Next video we'll have everything. We'll mount it permanently, get it on, ready to go, and get that going. So with that being said, I wanted to give you a little bit of update on the shop. So a little bit of update on the shop. We have successfully obtained and installed a lift. Our shop is in it's in a unit, so we have multiple renters here. I've been super blessed that all of my neighbors have been phenomenal people. My neighbor Pedro at the other end, I actually inquired with him if he knew someone that would install a lift or knew how to help me install my lift. He actually had the knowledge. He was very gracious and glad and very, very helpful and helping us get this installed over a period of a day or two. We did it, you know, pretty quick. It works well. We've got it in. So we want to say a huge shout out to Pedro. Thank you very much for all your help. You guys will likely see Pedro in some videos. He expressed some interest in wanting to join us, and he's more than welcome. Great guy. He's running a mechanic shop here in our unit. So thank you, Pedro, for your help, and we greatly appreciate it. All right, so we want to test fit our weld. We did some front skinnies for this. A little bit of weight savings. We're going to do the same thing with the Mustang. It's part of that budget build. So I'm going to pop these wheels off, pop the other ones on, make sure everything seems to fit and look okay. I do kind of want to try this again. I can't talk today. I do want to inspect the brakes on this as well. They feel kind of spongy, and I do see a slotted and drilled rotor on here. So I'm wondering, I don't really know the history of the car in respects to any kind of upgrades or anything like that. So I'm just going to kind of take a look, see what we got, and dig in. So I'm going to try and get these lugs off, and we're going to check this out. Man, somebody really cranked this on there. Wow. Guys, there's never a need to crank something on this tight, ever. Goodness. Yeah, no need for that ever. So, tires don't look bad. Let's see. Oh yeah, we need some pads here. I'll bring you guys in here. We'll let you kind of see what we got. All right, so we did put on like a Mickey Thompson, the skinny fronts, and they are directional, so you want to make sure you put them on correctly where you have the rotation markings lined up properly. So over, just saw it on here. Right here, rotation, arrow's going that way. So we are headed the right way. We had to get the correct lug nuts for the wheel. There are center caps for this. Actually bought these off Marketplace used. Got a great deal from a gentleman in Central Ohio. So I basically had to put tires on there, but I basically got both rims for the price of one. That being said, the center caps were a little worn. They're not beat up. They've been cleaned a lot, honestly. And instead of looking black, they look bronze. So we're gonna get those touched up so they look right and look good with the car. Again, we're just test fitting. So right now, everything seems to look and line up good. It doesn't look hokey. We are up on the lift, so we have sag, but overall, I think it looks great. So we're just gonna check and make sure everything wants to line up and play nice. And then we will we'll go from there. These do not seem to want to go on great. That being said, these studs are not in the greatest of shape either, though. They are pretty chewed up. Matter of fact, before we get too deep into this, I'll show you guys. It looks like we may need some wheel studs. These are, well, I guess they're not too bad. I think the idea is maybe to, yeah, everything seems to go good. I'm gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on these just so they don't get too boogered up. But the test fit works. The wheels fit exactly as we were told. So I'm gonna leave this off for just a second so I can get some anti-seize and stuff put on there. Let's switch over to the back. Make sure that these new single bead locks fit and look okay. All right, so let me grab my impact and we will zip this other one off here. I did kind of go through these. These are another one where someone has put these on insanely tight. There's no need for this, guys. So go ahead and buzz this. Other one's off. I may have to use a breaker bar because someone has put this on to the point it doesn't even want to come off. Don't want to damage the car. Don't want to damage the studs. So I kind of fighting this thing to try and get it to come off. It is just being an absolute bear. It's not rounding the bolt off, and it almost looks like it's cross-threaded, quite frankly. I think someone has honestly put these on with an impact and cross-threaded them. That is exactly what it looks like. Someone has cross-threaded this with the impact. So we might be in for a real good time. We might have to replace this stud. We really just want to kind of test fit the rims before they set here too long. So I'm going to switch to the other side and see if I can get it off. And we'll come back to this one with a breaker bar or some other system. So let's switch to the other side real quick. All right, let's see if this side's any better. It does have the plastic little covers on it, like little beauty covers. You buzz those off. And yeah, we got all those off. So let's see if these will come off, just so we can test these wheels. A little better already. Still, guys, goodness gracious, there is no need to ever put anything on this tight. And you really shouldn't be putting a lug nut on or starting it with an impact, because all that does is allow you to cross thread it and make bigger problems, especially for customers. All right, so this one actually did come off. So let me get the wheel and I'll kind of show you it and we'll test fit this guy. All right, so we got our bead lock out of the box, and this is what I'm talking about right here, guys. I don't know if you can see it, but it says if you mount it, you own it. So we just want to make sure, test fit her up, and see that everything is going to work. Looks like we're missing brakes. That's all pretty good. And boom, we are good. We seem to be clearing the brake decently. I heard some guys talking about having to grind the caliper, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, doesn't seem to be too much the case for us. it fits. So I do hear something somewhere here. Let's double check under here. Okay. We'll have to look with a light. I want to finger tighten this wheel on, and I'll bring you under and I'll show you guys a little bit. All right, so let's get this just finger threaded on so that we can get under here and do a proper inspection of everything. Kind of go from there. So just kind of finger tighten them. Put the correct lug nut with the space or the washer on the back. We're not going to tighten anything down, tight. Just enough that we can spin it, get under here, and see that everything clears. We did go to a 15-inch rim. This car came with 17s. We did that for cost of tires, for drag racing, extras. Just the 15s seem to be a little easier to deal with. So that was kind of the idea behind it. So let's get under here. We'll take a light. Let's kind of look and see what we get here. So I'm going to bring you guys under the car here. All right, so let's kind of look under here a little bit, see what we can find. I kind of toss a light in here a little bit. I'm looking up here mainly at the brake area. Oh yeah, I see. So there's like these heat fins, and yep. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can see. Ow, zinged my head. Let me. Nah, you can't really see, but right here I can see a red mark from where the calipers are painted red. So it's definitely rubbing. So the trick that I've been told is that you want to, they take and grind those down basically. So that's what we're gonna have to do next to get these to work. So we've test fit the wheels. They seem to look fine. I've tested one. I'm gonna grab the other one, test the same side, just to make sure that the actual holes and everything are drilled. I'm positive Will got them right. It's a super high quality wheel. I'd be hard pressed to think that they didn't get it right. But I do want to follow the instructions in case there was an issue. I'm going to test fit the other one. I'm not going to bore you with that. You see we have to grind the caliper. I'm going to have to get a grinder and bring back. So we'll do that here on the next episode. We'll hopefully, well not hopefully, I will have the tires on here and we'll actually get things on. I'm going to get those center caps ready to go. I will pretty much be ready to get the wheels and tires together on this. Now that we have the lift, one of the things that I wanted to address was I told you there was an oil leak. So our goal is to kind of do a little bit of digging here in the next episode or two and start tracking down the problems. Long term, we want to do the 5.3 swap. We know we need to go through this motor. We're going to kind of do that also in a video. But it would be nice to be able to, at least, it's February here in Ohio, so I'd like to get some track time with this car. It's got high miles on it. The LS1, I just want to get some wheel time behind the car. And also want to have some track time while we're also getting the Mustang ready. So having a running operating motor here allows me to focus here. Clearly, like I said, I'm a Mustang guy, so my heart really is with this Mustang and what we're doing. But that being said, we now have an LS platform. So LS Fest, this opens doors for us for content elsewhere. So I don't want to discount it. LS guys, there's no hate. The thing's phenomenal. I've got some experience with LS stuff a little bit with my dad and his Corvette that's supercharged. But like I told you guys in the other video, like my driving career has really revolved around the Mustang. So I'm a Ford Mustang guy at heart, Ford guy at heart. So that being said, I wanted to thank you guys for stopping in. We kind of just did some quick level stuff today. We kind of inherited a extra project on top of the two project cars. My child decided that he was gonna have a little boo-boo. Shout out to Hawk Auto Parts in Millville, Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio. for getting me the front end for his car. They were great to us. They gave us a great price on it. So we've been working on that on top of trying to get things ready for the Trans Am, purchasing the Mustang. So shout out to those guys. Another shout out to Pedro for helping me get this installed. You guys will see Pedro, I'm sure, again on some videos, and super great guy, fun. I think you guys are gonna love him when he's on videos. Shout out to Kevin. Kevin did some camera work for us when we did the pickup and helped me get this thing loaded and unloaded. So without Kevin, the Mustang probably wouldn't be here in one piece, because you know, having that extra person just help me get it on and off the trailer was critical. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you to Jody at Cars and Pieces for setting us up with this Mustang. Pedro for helping with the lift. I wanted to say thanks to everybody. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you like the video, it really makes a difference. Subscribers are what's going to drive us to kind of get going and keep moving. And make sure you go check out our merch site. Merch is how we are able to pay and do the things that we're doing. So please check it out at www.torquepp.com. Thanks for watching. Be good to each other and have a great day.